Scotland v. England, May 1987. It was 1987 and a Rouse Cup match against the old enemy. It was also the 10th anniversary of Scotland coming to Wembley and taking the piss all day. That infamous event where they invaded the pitch and stole the grass and the goalposts, etc. They bossed the whole day, and English fans were either inactive or had their tickets stolen by up to 50,000 pissed Scots. After that debacle, some of our English firms had teamed up with the Scots and formed a sort of allegiance, most notably Chelsea and Rangers, and the feeling was that they weren't really up for it anymore. We had never taken a firm up to Scotland, but if we were to show we were top boys, this is the time to do it. One of the London firms set it all up and told everyone that if their firm's top boys didn't attend, then they would have been seen to have bottled it. So a turnout was guaranteed, really. The cops knew all about what was planned, and we even had a few plain-clothed coppers with us on the train. The Scottish police were also expecting us. We all met up at Euston Station, and a worse mob I have never seen. Proper tasty mob it was, about 300 strong, drinking fest all the way to Glasgow Central. On arrival, a massive team of police with dogs and vans welcomed us, and it was depressing to learn that we weren't going to be able to play up on the way to the ground. But there were little groups of Scots who were goading us, so some of our lot charged at them and ran them off. More Scots arrived, and a small brawl took place with the police taken by surprise and not able to get control for a good few minutes. The Scots all legged it after the police caught up with them, and then escorted us to the ground. Inside the ground, the atmosphere was great with lots of goading from both sets of fans. I think the Scots were surprised by our visit, and they all knew that something had changed that day. They were no longer top dogs, so to speak. We had proven we could compete with them on a smaller scale, admittedly, but hey, small steps and all that. After the match ended and it was time to leave, I've never seen anything like it. Line after line of police with dogs and vans were filling the road. The Scots had no chance of ambushing us, and it was an easy journey back to the trains. We were expecting to be attacked, obviously, but they never showed up. We arrived back at Euston unharmed. The journey had been a success in that we handed out a few slaps and showed up and surprised them, but it was a disappointing turnout from their main firms, all of which knew we were coming. They later said that we had surprised them and that we were picking on women and kids, all that rubbish. But we could only take on the little firms that were there. The big firms shied away from it all. Anyway, that's my story of the day. Of course, 2 years later in 1989, we had even more numbers and ran them ragged all day, but that's another story for another day. We thank Scott for his recollection. It's clear that Scotland's big firms didn't turn up for one reason or another. If they had have done, it might well have been carnage. Of course, it all happened again in 1989, though this time the trouble was so much worse. Watch out for that story coming soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it really helps our channel grow.